Kieran O'Connor. I'm here with Mohsen Kadivar, and he's a visiting professor here at Duke from Iran. How did you sort of start to become a critic of there was the election, obviously, in last year. Had you already started developing critical attitudes towards the regime, or did that sort of develop in the election?
So it has a background. After some of my speeches and interviews that were published in Iran about 11 years ago, I was arrested by the government and sentenced to about 18 months in prison in Iran, in jail in Iran, 18 months, 1 year and a half. So after releasing from the jail, I continued my activity both in academic way and also in speeches, interviews, writing papers and books. But they made some restriction for me.
So you had to tone it down afterwards?
Yes. But on this event, the last presidential election that we had in Iran 7 months ago, I was here. And I was in in Chapel Hill. In Chapel Hill. And so I participate in the event after election. And I supported Hossein Mousavi, that we believe that he won the election,
right,
that the government cheated and replaced him by Ahmadinejad. So after that I wrote several papers.
What do you see for the future? Do you think the protests will be effective? I mean, how can the government be compelled to stop using violence against the protesters and release political prisoners?
The choice of Iran is so complex. It's not so easy to say what will happen. I do not know.
Right.
It's not so easy to predict anything in Iran because the regime is supported by about 10 to 15, not 50, 15 or 16% of citizens. Some of them believed in the regime, and it has militia, it has military service, it has military force, and also Iran is the most important thing is Iran is the money of oil. It's not based on the tax of the citizens. So it means that the government do not need to listen to the citizens because they have money, they have everything. Some kind of democracy, also limited democracy, we have because we have a lot of elections, but gradually the government restricted and decreased the level of democracy in Iran. So we try, and also in Iranian constitution, we have a contradictory between two items. Between democratic term that we have, half of the Iranian constitution is based on some democratic values. We have all of the democratic terms that we need in Iranian constitution. But on the other hand, we have some autocratic and some kind of despotism in the same
right.
constitution. So it has a leader, they call it supreme leader, and he has a lot of power, legal power, that he's like a king, and he can do many things according to this constitution. The most important thing that it's a guardianship council, it's above the parliament, and he has the right of veto of all of lawmaking, and also for all elections the candidates should be confirmed by this committee, by this council, and 6 of them are appointed by the leader, and the other 6 they are jurists, and the other that they are lawyer, they are selected or elected by the parliament.
Do you think the fundamental power structure of Iran needs to change in order?
So I want to tell you these things because in American media they think it's so simple, and they think after a few months everything will be changed and everything will be okay. No, it's not. I do not think so. We have a struggle for democracy, and it's an Iranian style of democracy. Democracy is not something that you can export from US or Europe to other countries. So this struggle is a national struggle to achieve democracy and human rights, and we want to reform. It's not a revolution. Iranians do not want revolution, another revolution, but they want reform. It means they do not want to use violence to achieve their goals.